You have practiced 1,000 times in the studio, and the last thing you want when it comes to be on stage is to experience the failure. If you don't learn how to make friends with failure, you will forever hide in the studio, never get the on-stage experience that actually grows you. You will keep waiting for the perfect moment that will never come. I sang many times off pitch and cracked notes on stage. And I want to be honest with you. In those exact moments, I feel the shame. It's real. My face burns, my heart sinks. But here's what I've learned. I carried on as if nothing happened. Not because I'm fearless. I am not. There's a difference between being courageous and fearless. I've trained myself to be courageous and keep going anyway, even if there is shame. And over time, carrying on through the shame taught me something. I started observing the difference between how I handle the failure versus those who let the fear stop them completely. What I realized is that it's not about having no fear. It's about the mindset shift that let you experience failure more peacefully without it crushing you. So, how to experience failure in a more peaceful way? First, you have to treat performing on stage as a practice, which is a different kind of practice in your studio. Come and think of it. On stage, you have audiences, no mirror, and the air conditioning might be colder. Environment is totally different from studio. So, why are you comparing your performance on stage and performance in studio? And why are you so hard on yourself when you think your studio performance is nearly perfect, but your on-stage performance is always worse than that? Because obviously, performing on stage and performing in studio is two different things and cannot be compared. Why compare an apple with an orange? I know it sounds hilarious, but that is exactly how hilarious you are comparing yourself with. So, in order to treat performing on stage as a practice, as much as you care about the quality of the performance, you have to increase the quantity of you performing on stage. Go to as many performances or competitions as you can and really allow yourself to make mistakes on stage. And treat performing on stage as a separate kind of practice from your studio. Especially allow yourself to practice performing on stage with those fears. The more you practice on stage, the higher the chance of getting the perfect performance that you want. One small tip here, when practicing in the studio, stop practicing facing the mirror. Cause when on stage, there is no mirror. And mirror gives you a sense of security when you're able to check yourself in the mirror. But on stage, you do not have a mirror. So practice without a mirror in order to practice a self-trust with your body. Trust that your body is still doing a good job even without you checking the mirror. Let me share something my ballet teacher used to say. Think of every on-stage performance like a 50% discount Black Friday sale. It's a different kind of practice. If your studio performance is 100 marks, your on-stage performance will definitely get a major 50% discount, just like our favorite Black Friday sale. Unless you are super talented, at least that is not who I am. Why 50% discount? It ties back to the unfamiliar environment different from what you usually practice in the studio. Hence, the big gap between both results. So, if you want to get 100 marks on stage, you need to get at least 200 marks when practicing in the studio. And you have to understand this. One result for an exam, competitions, or performance is not everything. And one result cannot determine how good or how bad you are. You can get the first prize in a competition, but might not get anything from another competition. And secondly, the result is not always compatible on how well you perform. For example, you might not perform as well as you usually do, but you manage to get a very high mark. Or you might be performing very well and even better than how you usually do, but you might not get any prizes at all. Because every judges has different artistry standards and every competitions or exam has different judging criteria. Hence, the results varies in standard. So, if you want to treat the result as absolute and treat it as everything, you might crash and eventually hate what you love doing earlier than you imagine. Also, you having the fear of failure is not just that simple fear of failure. It's more like you are having a fear of judgment. The fear of judgment from people. Why this? Because if you perform on stage, which is in front of the crowds, when many pairs of eyes are looking at you, it's not the fear of failure anymore, my queen. It's the fear of judgment. The fear of judgment from those people watching you. Imagine if you perform in the studio. Even if you fail, you won't feel as bad as failing on stage, right? So now you might ask, even if you really allow yourself to practice as many times as you can on stage, then how to deal with the fear of judgment when you really allow yourself to make the mistakes on stage? I have to admit, I am also experiencing the shame and embarrassment exactly the moment when I am on stage. But I pretended nothing happened and carried on anyways. Don't get me wrong as fearless, as in no fear in failing. I have fear too. There's a difference between fearless and courageous. I'm courageous in facing my fear of failure and making friends with it instead of hiding away from it and pretending that I have no fear. Let's say even if you really make mistake on stage and still carry on anyways, people are going to admire you instead. And most importantly, people are not going to remember if or when you make mistake on stage. The off pitch and the crack notes, only you will remember even if after 10 years has passed. People are so obsessed with their life. They don't really have the time to remember the small details or the mistakes that you make on stage. And even if there is really one person who is so lame and so obsessed with you and remember every single details of you making mistake on stage, you have to open the champagne and celebrate, because this is an evidence that you are becoming so magnetic and shining so brightly that this person can't take his or her attention away from you, my queen. And this person will zoom in whatever mistakes that you make whenever he or she has the chance to. They are just jealous of you. You're on the right track of building and focusing yourself, my queen. Let them continue to jealous and be obsessed at you. There was once I sang off pitch during a rehearsal and people are gossiping about it behind my back. When I knew about it, of course I was triggered, cannot deny that. But at the same time, once again, it proved that I am on the right path in focusing and building myself and started attracting people gossiping about me. It is the same like being a celebrity as well. Even if you are as popular as Taylor Swift, still people want to judge the hell out of you. That's the law of nature. You attract two polarities of people when you started becoming so famous, which means you are gonna attract both people liking you and hating you. So to summarize everything, number one, treat your onstage as a practice as well. Get yourself to be on stage as many times as possible to practice with the fear and eventually get the perfect result that you want. The higher the chance you'll be on stage, the higher the chance you get the perfect results. Number two, one result is not everything and it's not absolute. It cannot determine if you are good or not good. Number three, it's not the fear of failure, it's the fear of judgment. Even if people judge you, means you are becoming so magnetic and people are starting to hate you. And go celebrate, my queen. Now, I want to hear from you, my queen. What is the one fear that's been keeping you from getting on stage? Let me know in the comment. Let's normalize failing on stage, my queen. I used to think that if I practice enough, then one day the fear will disappear. It doesn't work that way. The fear will never go away. Never. You just have to learn how to make friends with the fear. The one that you need next is called You Are Not Ready, and that's why you will win. Tap in the card right here or in the description box. It is the missing piece to everything that I've just talked about. See you, my queen, in my next video. Bye!